How you doing, guys? Mr. McGuire here with Naaman News, and we got something special today. Tragedy struck our school, and Miss Wright, the drill team instructor, who's been the drill team instructor here for many, many years, passed away this morning. I personally had her daughter Peyton when I was at Webb as a 6th, 7th, and 8th grader, and then also had her here at Naaman when I came across the street to teach high school. Beautiful family, wonderful woman. Actually even got the opportunity to direct Grease with her. We worked on that musical together. She was the choreographer and then I was the director, and had a blast. Very sweet spirit. And unfortunately we lost her this morning. So I thought it would be fitting to pay tribute to her in her life. And we've asked a couple of teachers that were very close to her to speak on her behalf. So, with heavy hearts, goodbye, Alisha and Peyton. We love you dearly.
Hi, my name is Donna Lynn, and I spent the last 11 years at Naaman Forest High School, where I came to know Alisha Wright, not only as a teacher in my department whom I supervised, but eventually as a really good friend. I want to talk to you today just a little bit about Miss Wright. And because I'm a little emotional about it, I've written a script, so I'm going to be reading it. It may sound a little formal, but it's hard for me to just talk off the cusp about this. Alisha Wright directed the nationally recognized Sterling Stars for 25 years, making them the envy of every drill team in GISD and in DFW. The number of lives Miss Wright touched are incalculable, and her influence is seen and felt district-wide. Miss Wright made such a lasting impact on so many lives. Today alone, I've had students from classes contact me wanting to express their sadness and wanting to know how they could help. This loss is felt across several generations of girls, and it is a profound loss indeed. On a personal note, I've known Miss Wright for almost 12 years, but it was only in the last 3 years or so that our friendship extended beyond the walls of Naaman Forest High School. Instead of work acquaintances, we became friends. Our time together as friends is a time that I hold in my heart, and I will never be able to play in the sands at Galveston Beach without thinking of her and the rest of our wolf pack and the fun we had on our girls' trip. She is the only person I've ever met who used the word "tough it" in a sentence, and little memories like that are ones that I will hold on to. Her loss for me is deeply personal and one that I will struggle with for some time. I know her imprint will live on at Naaman Forest High School, especially because the current director, Miss Williams, herself a product of the Naaman Forest Sterling Stars and of Miss Wright, has worked and will continue to work to ensure the stars forever shine in the forest with the extraordinary life and legacy of Alisha Wright. She will be greatly missed.
So, as most of you students know by now, we lost a very, very special woman and teacher, longtime teacher here at Naaman Forest. She's been the varsity drills team coach since the building opened, and she was a friend to many and a great teacher and role model. And so we just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about Miss Wright and how important she was to us.
I met Miss Wright. She was Miss Baber when I met her back in 1995 when I was a freshman here at Naaman Forest High School, and I wanted to be on her drill team more than anything in the world. And I eventually was on her drill team and served 3 years and was her captain in 1998. And then, oh gosh, 5-6 years ago, she called and there was an opening at Naaman for a JV drill team spot. And I've always loved it and wanted the chance to work with her. So I immediately jumped on it and did everything I could to, help contribute to the program that gave me so much and help, give back to the woman that gave me so much.
I started working at Naaman, and Alisha was the drill team sponsor at that time. And the very next year, I thought she was so cool because she ran such a tight ship. Because of that, she ended up, she's left a legacy. And not only has she left a legacy, she is a legend. And just seeing Miss Williams and what she's done, and when Miss Williams came back to work at Naaman. I thought it was so cool that they got to work together, because I was also here when Miss Williams was the captain, and I got to spend every Friday night with Miss Wright at Friday Night Lights at the football games. I was here when she had Peyton, and there was a professional side of her, and there was definitely a the personal. She is a human, and she had a very funny side, and there's lots of professional and personal memories with her.
Miss Wright, I'm going to call her Alisha because that was her name. I've worked with her my whole career, but I didn't really get to know her until about 4 years ago. And you guys probably know this at your age, but teachers are real people, and we have lives outside of school. And she was going through something that I could relate to, and she and I became friends. And so I never saw I saw the professional side of her, and I knew that she loved to dance. And I've gotten to know her professional side once we became friends more. She loved what she did, and she loved those girls. And it was her. It was inside her. It was her, everything she was. But all of us have gotten, Miss Thompson, Miss Williams, Courtney, if you will, got to see her as a drill team instructor, and how she is business. She is absolute business. But what is so wonderful about her is that she was one of the funniest people you will ever meet. And as teachers, sometimes we have to go to faculty meetings, and we all but got in trouble a lot because we joked around a lot. And I think part of the reason why I actually haven't shed a tear yet is because I have the best memories with her. She was hilarious, and she loved life, and she loved her daughter, and she loved the stars. That was her.
Completely. I credit a lot of how I am today because of her, organized and, just a planner, just everything is because of her. And, we traveled together. We got to go to Colorado when I was in high school, and we got to go to Hawaii when I was her assistant 2 years ago, and just hilarious. Sitting by her on the plane, I had planned to sleep that 6-hour flight, but all I did was laugh so hard I cried. All I did was laugh so hard. She had a wit about her that was just unbelievable. And, you saw this very strict woman who was very, very drill sergeant-like when it came to her drill team. But if you ever got her alone, your abs would hurt by the time you left because you would laugh.
Back to the Hawaii thing really quickly. I think I told you this. She was in hospice at the end. She was in a facility, and it was really pretty, and she had this gorgeous room. And any of you girls that went to Hawaii with her, she loved her room because it reminded her of her room in Waikiki, which was perfect. What a wonderful send-off, yeah? She loved Hawaii. She loved the beach. She loved the beach. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
I will say, she was the drill team director for 24, 25, 26 years. And with that, you're talking, 20 to, I know at the very beginning, there were 70 girls on that team. I think the year you were captain,
easily, there
were 70 girls on that team. And you talk about 20 years of 20 to 70 girls. That is how many people that she has impacted. She has been such an influence, and it made such an impact on all those girls. And bottom line is, she is a legend.
I'm Courtney Williams, or Courtney Thompson. I go by many names up here. The one word I have to describe Alisha would be dedication. She gave her all to, so many young women up here, her daughter, her family. So dedication would have to be the word that I used.
My name is Christy Smoot, and if I had to pick one word to describe Alisha Wright, it would be funny.
I'm Christy Boyd, and the one word I would use is passionate. She was very passionate about everything she did. So.
She will be missed, absolutely.
Completely. She was pregnant with Peyton. 6 months, 7 months, I mean, enough to show. And we had done something wrong. And so she decided she was going to get up on this card table and demonstrate how to do it correctly.
Oh, no.
So here she is, 6 months pregnant with 70 girls all watching her. Not one of us paid attention to what she was talking about. We were so afraid she was going to fall off the table. And I remember she turned around, and y'all, she almost stepped off that table. And we all just like lunged for her. And oh my gosh, I'll never forget that. And we said, Miss Baber, you've got to be more careful. And she's like, did y'all hear anything we said?
Yeah.
Like, no ma'am. No ma'am. Yes ma'am?
Focus.
No ma'am. Maybe. So, yeah.
One thing, she was very big on tradition. And
Oh,
I
gosh,
think,
yes.
I think that's something. Also, we all went to Galveston. We had a girls' trip to Galveston. And I will say, she was pretty much the ringleader of the fun, the nonstop. I mean,
On the way down, we stopped at a gas station, and she bought a pink cowboy hat. And she wore that thing all weekend long. And there's a picture.
Thing of Courtney.
Yes, Courtney
I couldn't
wasn't
be
able to
there.
go, and we made a picture of her. What was it called? A flat Stanley. Of Courtney, of Miss Thompson,
Yeah.
Williams, whatever.
Sure.
Sorry.
No
and,
matter.
And we had it, and we put it on a
Lounge
chair.
She laid
And
out with us. She
Alicia held
with
the
us.
hand, and we put a cowboy hat on it so that Courtney could be there
I
with
was.
us.
I was
So,
there. I was there.
Lots of fun.
The
We
nonstop
had
texting. I
lots
felt there.
of, there's lots of
Memories.
fun,
Oh,
sweet
gosh.
memories.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that you guys will have them too. And she's going to have a service somewhere along the way, and we'll be back with y'all with more details about